Hey buns! In my last player housing video, we walked around the Alliance District. But today, I'm back with another immersive tour, this time for the Horde. Will you build or be the laziest peon? Will you party it up on the beach? Or will your new 5 friends be the hippos who live by your house? Remember, there is no best plot. There's only what's best for you. So I want to help you figure that out. Let's hop to it. When you enter Razorwind Shores, you'll walk out onto a cracked clay mesa with prickly pear cacti and paintbrush wildflowers, while a cool river cascades down from the Ajara-like mountains. Following the road south takes you to the town square, aka the Common, where you'll find Tauren tending kodos, merchants, and a bonfire where the NPCs gather, probably to gossip about the neighbors and the things they've seen. First, let's head west, past scorpids on the path, to the high desert canyons. First on the left is a plot on dry, rocky ground, perched right above the Oasis waterfalls. Across the road is a sort of hunter's lodge plot with an archery target and a wide fishing deck. Following the river north brings you to the epic plot 2. This is a huge high desert plot. Not for the faint of heart. I actually saw a vulture eating a baby salamander in the yard. The cycle of life can be cruel. But it's also a cool mix of homey cozy and wild, with a diving springboard, a rope swing out back, and a big orcish deck with string lights and a bar, ready for a party. Heading back towards the center of the zone, we find the Lush Canyon Oasis, an area blessed with many excellent hippos. Just under the flight path, one plot has the best view of the huge Oasis waterfalls, and it sits on sandy ground with a tiny pond with a frog and a turtle. Next door, plot 9 is peak for pool parties. It's got its own little grotto where a thin, ribbony waterfall plunges into a refreshing nook where you can just imagine floating on your back watching wyverns fly overhead. Another plot is a tropical, meadowy space right across from the graveyard, and unlike plot 2, this area is full of healthy baby salamanders. Farther to the southeast are 2 classic Oasis plots. One is almost entirely surrounded by water that attracts several hippos, while the other is covered in big purple flowers. Between them is a cozy bonfire with 2 pelt blankets, like a meeting spot for neighbors. Just north of the Flightmaster is a jungle plot under the Wyvern Roost. You got the Kodo Ranch on one side and a little meat stall on the other, and hopefully those 2 things aren't related. Further up the Western River is the secluded Plot 0. It's lush, grassy, and sandy, feeling like part of the Oasis, but it's on its own elevated hill. It has an epic view and its own watchtower, but your insurance premiums will be through the roof with that ticking time bomb of a hoodoo rock overhead. There are many beaches, islands, and resort-type plots that all combine into one big chapter called the Tropical Coasts. On the western beach, one plot is tucked under the cliffs with a smuggler's den right on the lot. Your house will be like your own little booty bay. Across the river are 2 sandy plots, one with soft, grassy dunes, and the other with some friendly seagulls and the sound of water rushing under the bridge. Nearby, a broad, rugged plot has a secret path behind it that'll lead you toward a Cultiran shipwreck where there's sharks prowling around, and there you'll find the truly remote Plot 24, hidden under the mountain with a pretty sick sea monster rib cage as a gateway arch. If you're looking for a tropical resort vibe, one plot with a private dock also has chairs and tables set up for you to enjoy your pina colada. But the real private resort is Plot 19, on its very own island with a stocked tiki bar, bonfire, and canoes. 2 other island plots are nearby. One is lush with flowers, and the other feels wild and jungly. Crossing back to the beachy mainland, we'll find plots that feel more fishing and boating oriented. To your left is Plot 5, with its nautical vibe and cool stone arch, where I even saw a salamander napping. As you go under the through passage, you'll see Plot 3 up on a plateau with its own fishing deck. If you follow the beach a ways west from here, you'll find Plot 6, which is the fishmonger's plot. This is convenient to the bustling fish market, and it has its own boat dock where you can listen to the lazy peons snoring nearby. Back on the eastern coastline, another plot has a ramp leading up to a beautiful deck, complete with a boat that I assume conveys with the property. It is tied to a mooring post, so it doesn't drift off into the maelstrom. Next door, you'll find a home with sea turtles around it, and a little fishing pier next to this cool seaside hangout where there's a couple goblins chilling in beach chairs. Yes, even in the rain. We're staying. Those tickets were non-refundable. Foodies may enjoy Plot 14, which sits underneath a Pandaren fresh sushi shop. It has its own bridge to a private island, but watch out for the electric eels. Maybe tell that Pandaren, get yourself some unagi. Finally, a unique plot on packed red dirt where you may have left your surfboard. This feels like a defensible fortress and has the added bonus of being next to Tortolan traders, but you might need to keep the noise down after 8 p.m. Heading inland from the coast, we find the Bloom, the Horde's main suburb and cactus garden. It's a social cluster with Plot 34 right on the main path, the wyverns flying overhead, and just above it, Plot 48, high up on its own mesa in the middle of everything, but with the high ground. Plot 10, near the pond, has butterflies and bird singing, cute barrel cacti, and pink blooming saguaro. It feels like a high desert ranch, but it still has a sea view. Here, the plot most convenient to the common has those classic orky spikes jutting from its cliff for extra home security. Nearby is a dried out ranch on cracked dry earth. Reminded me of old school Thousand Needles with the bubbling pools it overlooks. Feels like a transitional plot from the Bloom and the Commons to the hot springs, which are honestly so cool. There's this diving board into the boiling water. There's only 2 hot springs plots actually. One has its own little bubbling pond, and the Bloom's meadow where Kodo graze is basically your backyard. The other is perched right above a set of triple waterfalls. Now for something completely different, let's head up and into the Bluffs. Following the steep path up from the hot springs leads to a windy, lush top. The first plot is amazing, with panoramic views and 2 massive wraparound decks that are perfect for mount takeoffs. It's connected by a long, kind of scary suspension bridge to the middle bluff, which sits in its own autumn grove and even has a watchtower, because why not? Another bridge takes it to a 2-tiered bluff that feels much more seaside, with seagulls and the sound of waves far below. You'll even find deer, squirrels, bumblebees, and foxes up here. Finally, by the bluff's Flightmaster, you'll find a plot that feels like a foresty mountain lodge. I found a mama doe and her baby deer here. A watchtower separates it from a plot that features a pretty dangerous diving board off the cliff. Hey, what did the Tauren diver say? Cowabunga! Our final chapter takes us far to the northeast, to the Golden Ajara Forest type plots, aka the Cragthorn Highlands. We'll start with a bright, social, lowland plots that have plenty of foot and hoof traffic from the nearby common. One is nestled among golden birches with the lazy river and waterfalls flowing past on either side, while the other feels like a crossroad of biomes. It's a huge forested space by the waterfalls with desert blooms on its river bend and a little bench there for spearfishing. Crossing the bridge from the lowlands and walking uphill, we find the riverside plots. Plot 45 is a watchtower to see the whole zone from, where I found a ton of empty beer mugs at the top. Just next door, Plot 44 sits by a bustling woodsy market with a Volpera caravan. There is a florist, a baker, barbecue spot where I bet you could find some artisanal tough jerky. Finally, Plot 20 has a super nice deck with a cozy little riding nook underneath. Deeper in the forest is Four Sisters, a gorgeous misty waterfall area. One plot here seems remote, but it's actually super convenient to the Orgrimmar portal via a secret path towards the back entrance. On the other side is a peaceful, secluded hunter's lodge where you have a dock over the plunge pool with firewood, fishing traps, and a target set up across the water. The road east takes us across a bridge to the final area, the Ashara cliffside. This is where you'll find Plot 39, the one I picked for myself, perched high up on a very steep cliff. I'm here for the views of the ocean and the jagged mountains beyond, and the fact it's incredibly secluded with a huge deck ready for friends. But y'all gotta be out of here by 8 p.m. The peachy pastel sunsets in this area are the stuff dreams are made of. Nearby, one plot is perched right on the waterfall, while another is right next to the communal baths. And this place says so much about the Horde. It feels so free-spirited. There are beer mugs here, and you can just imagine taking a bath under the stars. Naked and free. Wild and out. This is not Elwyn Forest, I'll tell you that. A densely forested cliffside plot, most convenient to the baths, is where I saw 2 baby deer playing. Just under, you'll find a home on another precipice with hippogriffs soaring overhead towards the sea, and a neighboring plot overlooking a multi-tiered waterfall system. Finally, you'll find 2 party plots. 52 has its huge entertaining deck. You can sit on a bench by the waterfalls or have a drink at the fully stocked bar, and next door, a home sits right across from a clubhouse with beer kegs and sausages, not to mention its gorgeous views of the waterfalls far, far below. My read on Razorwind Shores is that this is a lawless and free-spirited place. I mean that in the best way. A land of adventure where you can just let it all hang out. The guy who's in charge is super laid back. Like, I bet he'd let you get away with anything. Feels wild and uninhibited. Like, I doubt you'll get 5G on most of this island. So are you ready to go off grid and live somewhere really far from the common? Or are you looking to move next to friends, maybe in a string of tropical resort plots? Let me know in the comments which plots are calling your name. What are your favorites and your least favorites? If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on twitch.tv/ZeplaHQ. You can also support the channel with memberships now on this YouTube channel. And you can also support the channel for free by leaving a comment, dropping a like, and dropping a sub. All that helps a lot. And you're welcome to join our guild in World of Warcraft as well. Maybe you want to join us and move into our guild neighborhood. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.